Oh, my brother!
Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed part 1 of guys I like to work with and guys I didn't like to work with, you're gonna love part 2. So let's get started. Chris Jericho. Listen, I gotta be cool and can't say anything bad about Chris. If it wasn't for Chris, I would not have beat Triple H in the middle of the ring on SmackDown as Reverend D-Von. So I've gotta be nice and say, number 1, thank you for that. I appreciate it. And number 2, I want to say even working with you in single matches was really good. I didn't realize how good Chris's psychology was. He made sure that everything you were supposed to do, you did, and made sure A went with B, B went with C, and so forth and so on. So I got to say, Chris, true professional in every way. Thank you, my friend. Oof. What better man to pick right after Chris Jericho than Triple H? Not only did I have memorable matches with him, but there's one I'm going to tell because I think the fans will enjoy it and it'll probably trend or what have you. But man, Triple H, I'm going to say this. Madison Square Garden, first time ever in Madison Square Garden for the Dudley Boys. It's the Dudley Boys and The Rock versus DX, X-Pac, Road Dogg, and Triple H. And of course, the heat is on me. They're beating me up in the middle of the ring. And as they're beating me up in the middle of the ring, they drag me into the corner. And as they drag me into the corner, Road Dogg and X-Pac hold my hands. Triple H comes in. He looks at me, he goes, "Welcome to the business, boys." And I'm like this. I'm like, what is he talking about? He goes, wham!
Shot you. Shabba! What the f***?
And I jumped up. I was like, holy cow. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And they all start laughing. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, Madison Square Garden in the middle of the ring in front of a sold out crowd of 18,000 plus. Are you crazy? I didn't take offense to it. No, not because I liked it, damn it, stop it. But no, it was done in all fun. And me and Triple H and Road Dogg, we laugh about that so much to this day. And you know, it was my introduction into the company. What an introduction, huh? So that was one of the very memorable matches that I've had. But the other memorable match was the one that I just talked about, was with when I was Reverend D-Von. Triple H comes down, we start going at it, and the rest is history. Chris Jericho comes down when the referee's not looking, takes the collection box and wraps it right around Triple H's head. I see that, I get on top of Triple H to cover him, Reverend D-Von is the winner. So again, thank you, Chris Jericho, and also thank you, Triple H. Because you see, he didn't have to lay down for me that day. He really didn't. He could have told Vince, no, I don't care to do this, get somebody else to do it. But he did. And I gotta always thank him for that. And I've always told him thank you because he didn't have to do that. So again, my hat goes off to Hunter. Thank you, buddy. All right, guys, I know when you're surfing the internet, you're clicking on some sketchy links. Now, don't lie to me, man. I know you're doing it. Please don't click any of those links without the partner of this video, NordVPN. NordVPN will protect you from all sorts of cyber attacks, phishing, malware, ransomware, and more. NordVPN will keep you safe. So go to nordvpn.com/Dudley to get an exclusive deal and a bonus 4 months. And the best part about it is it's risk-free with their 30-day money-back guarantee. Don't have cable so you can't watch NXT or SmackDown? Use NordVPN to change your location. And you can watch all your wrestling on Netflix and many more. So go to nordvpn.com/Dudley to take advantage of this exclusive deal. Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the content at hand. My tag team partner, Bubba Ray Dudley. I guess I better say the right things for this one. You know, I've said this at my Hall of Fame speech and I'll say it now. I couldn't have done all the stuff that I had done, all the things that I've created, if it wasn't for this man right here. And I'm gonna say vice versa. Whatever I was lacking in the ring, he picked up. And whatever he was lacking in the ring, I picked up. We had each other's backs. We were truly brothers in every sense of the word. In ECW, we beat the hell out of each other in single matches. We brought it and not one time did we complain. If you look at the back of Bubba's head, he's got some scars. He's got some scars where hair doesn't grow anymore. And unfortunately, it's because of me and the chair shots that I hit him with, where the lip of the chair would catch him in the back of the head. And at one point, he would get so frustrated and so angry because it was like every night I'm swinging that chair and I didn't know what I was doing. I would bust him open. And long and behold, the one time that Bubba got the opportunity to hit me back with a chair, he swung that chair as if he was Babe Ruth. And I mean, the sound was heard outside of the ECW arena. It was one of those things where we built it up so much that it was time for us to almost move to the next level and to become tag team partners, which is what we did. We are the most decorated tag team in the history of this business. Some might even say the greatest of all time. And I've always said, I don't look at us as being the greatest of all time because there were tag teams that we've never faced. And if we haven't faced them, then how can we call ourselves the greatest? So as far as I'm concerned, we were the greatest during our era. That I will accept, but not the greatest of all time. So again, this man right here, truly my brother, a brother from a different mother. The Big Show. Standing nearly 7 feet 2 inches tall, almost 500 pounds at the time, Big Show was probably the largest human being that I had ever been in a ring with. Sometimes when you have a man this large, it's very hard to do anything with him. But I will say this, for a man his size, very athletic, and was not difficult to work with at all. Big Show was somebody that I like to say that even though we never had a falling out or anything like that, I really didn't want to work with him too much, all because he was so damn big, you were only limited to doing certain things with him. I loved working with him in a sense, but then I hated it because I couldn't really be me. He had to beat me up the majority of the match because he was just so damn big. We basically was gonna do a 3D to him off the second rope. And think about it, I'm the one picking the guy up, so I gotta pick up 400 and close to 450 to 500 pounds and pick him up for the 3D. Let me tell you, it was not an easy task at all. But he helped me and he got up and we 3D'd him right through a table. So again, thank you, Big Show, for all your help, and thank you for being a true professional. The icon himself, the Sandman. For those of you that know the history of ECW and followed ECW, you know the memorable matches that the Sandman and I have had, not only as a tag, but as singles. I love the fact that his entrance music, he came out to Enter the Sandman, which was only fitting for him to come out to, and his entrance would take 20 minutes from the time he left the curtain to the time he got to the ring. My first match with him in ECW was the match that put me on the map, that went from an independent D-Von to a D-Von Dudley that you see today. Those kendo sticks hurt. Sandman would swing those sticks for dear life. And sometimes you'd have to look at him, what he was doing, and adjust your head to where he was swinging, because if not, he'd catch you in the ear, he'd catch you in the mouth, hell, he might even catch you in the eye. Again, one of the best guys that I've ever been in the ring with, even though, and I say even though, before he got to the ring, he was drunk because all the beer that he drank before he got down to the ring. Think about it. If you got nothing but Budweisers in your pocket and you're chugging them on your way to the ring, what do you think is going to happen to your sobriety? You're not going to have it. You're going to be drunk as hell. And that's exactly what it was with the Sandman. But no matter how drunk he got, he was at his best when he was drunk, and I've always said that. So I remember one of the matches that I had with Sandman, we were in Trenton, New Jersey. We're waiting for Sandman to get to the building, and he finally does arrive. And I notice he's not talking crazy. He's normal Sandman. And I looked at Sandman and I said, "What's wrong with you?" He goes, "Nothing, I'm just tired." He's like, "Man, I was up all night last night and blah, blah, blah." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." He goes, "You haven't had any beer or nothing?" I went, "Stop, excuse me?" He goes, "I haven't had any beer." I was like, "So you're not drunk?" He goes, "No, I'm not drunk." I was like, "Okay, hold on 1 second." I went and found a runner. I said, "Do me a favor, go to that gas station on the corner." I went, "Give me at least 2 to 3 cases of beer." and I need it ASAP. He came back with the 3 cases. I'm holding it, screaming for Sandman. Sandman, where are you, Sandman? He finally goes, D-Von, I'm over here. You want to go over some stuff? I go, yes, I need you to start drinking. He started drinking. He drank about 1.5 cases. By the time we even was up to go through the curtain. So I figured by the time he drank that and the extra case that he had that he's probably going to bring to the ring with him, he'll be drunk enough to be able to do this match. And sure enough, he was. And needless to say, did not get hurt. So thank you, Sandman, for drinking on the job. Mark Henry. Being in the ring with Mark was truly something, because at any time, Mark could grab you and there was nothing you could do about it. That's just how strong he was. But luckily, Mark liked me, I liked him, and we gelled. Mark Henry was truly a professional, loved working with him. But again, he had that big show stigma that I like to say. Because he was so big, he was very limited on what he could do. He could do it, but of course, psychology-wise in pro wrestling, a man that big should not be taking so many bumps. It's gonna be hard to take him off his feet. Even though Mark Henry was a little shorter than Big Show, he was billed as the strongest man in the world. And he truly was. One of the ones that stand out was, of course, that everybody still talks about today, was when we put Mae Young through the table. Remember, Mark Henry and Mae Young were dating, had a baby, and it came out of hand. You know, we took his girlfriend, Mae Young, picked her up, put her on Bubba's shoulders, and put her old ass right through a table. No disrespect, Mae, but we had to do what we had to do. Mark Henry was truly one of the biggest, strongest individuals I had ever been in the ring with. And up until the last time I got in the ring, no one ever topped that. So kudos to Mark Henry for winning the strongman contest and being the strongest man ever. My little brother, Spike Dudley. Listen, I'm gonna say this. Spike Dudley is probably the toughest man in the WWE, in ECW, and TNA. If you ever watched our careers, if you ever watched Spike's, you would have seen the beatings that he had taken every single night. I am very surprised that Spike Dudley is even walking today. And here's the deal, me and Bubba did half the beatings. How he was okay with that was beyond me. One of the stories that me and Bubba tell all the time, and we've told it on social media numerous times, so I think it's safe to say it here. We were looking for Spike, we couldn't find him. We had to go over something in the match that had been changed. So we're looking for him, we can't find him. Me and Bubba finally meet up, he goes, where the hell is that little I go, I don't know. He goes, did you check upstairs? I go, no. In the ECW arena, there was kind of like where the Eagle's Nest was, where all the cameras and stuff was. There was a bathroom up there. We go upstairs and we check, and we're yelling for Spike. Spike, Spike, where are you? Bubba starts looking in the stalls by bending down, looking to see if he sees anything. Finally, he sees these little boots coming off the toilet. He goes, Spike, are you in there? He opens up the door. Next thing you know, you hear. Bubba looks at him and goes, that's how you've been taking those ass kickings all that time. You've been smoking before you went out there. What the hell? When he said that, I started dying laughing. So needless to say, Sandman needed alcohol and Spike needed to smoke. What a great combination. And then you wonder why ECW was the way we were. But we had fun, I tell you that much. But no, we had great matches with Spike. Spike beat us so bad, and we were okay with that. He would really hit us for real, but we were okay. Because the abuse that we gave him, no human being on the face of the earth should have been able to take that, but he did. So I gotta say, I was very happy for Spike whenever he got his just due on us, because again, he helped make the Dudley Boys. He deserved to get the wins over us the way he did, just because he was so given with his body where he didn't care. And no matter how hard we would beat him, he would still come back and do it again. So Spike, little bro, thank you. The rattlesnake himself, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now here's the deal. I never wrestled Stone Cold Steve Austin in a singles match, but we wrestled together in a tag match. It was the Dudleys and Steve versus Kurt Angle and the Hardy Boys. Steve was showing us just about every little trick in the book. Now remind you, Steve had a lot more experience than us. So he was the vet, so we shut up and we listened to what he had to say. We didn't open our mouths. If Steve didn't want to do it, guess what? We weren't doing it. But if Steve wanted to do it, we were doing it. Point blank, simple as that. When Stone Cold Steve Austin came out, during the time where we were all in the ring, WCW versus the WWE, I was on the WCW, ECW side. And when that music hit, that glass broke and he came out, good God, the ovation that you heard was unreal. You couldn't even hear yourself think, it was so loud. I will say this, no one really knows how to take the Stone Cold Stunner until you see it being done by guys like Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon, even some of the guys today, Austin Theory. You know, the way they took that stunner nowadays, it's phenomenal. And I remember when I took it, I really didn't know how to take it. I thought you were supposed to go down to your knees and stay there. So basically, when he gave me the stunner, I basically bit my tongue because my chin actually jarred my jaw going into his shoulder. I didn't realize how to take that bump. It was probably one of the most painful bumps I took because I didn't know what I was doing. I should have asked, but I didn't. One of the other things that I recall about Stone Cold Steve Austin and working with him was him and Bischoff were going at each other. It got to the point where there was a stipulation in the Survivor Series where Stone Cold Steve Austin had his team, Eric Bischoff had his team. And if Stone Cold Steve Austin's team lost, then he would have to leave the WWE forever. And we almost pulled it out, we almost made it, but unfortunately, we didn't. And the last remaining person that was standing on Steve Austin's side was Shawn Michaels, a bloody Shawn Michaels. Everybody at that point was depending on Shawn to overcome impossible odds. And unfortunately, Steve did not win. His team did not win. And like JR said in The King, he gave his heart and soul to that match, but in terms of Shawn Michaels, but unfortunately, he did not come out the winner. That was probably one of the biggest pay-per-views next to WrestleMania that I think Bubba and myself had ever been involved in. Because again, there was a lot at stake. And they got a main event guy like Stone Cold Steve Austin, you're representing his team. You know, that was a huge match for Bubba and I. Not to mention, think about it. When WCW was whooping the hell out of the WWE in ratings, it was because of Stone Cold Steve Austin that helped bring the WWE back to life. We all owe Steve Austin a huge gratitude of thanks, because if it wasn't for him cutting that promo at the King of the Ring, there's no telling where the state of the WWE would be. So again, Steve, thank you for all your contributions. Thank you for everything that you did for the company. And thank you for everything that you've done for me and Bubba. Testify. The next person I'm gonna say that I like being in the ring with was my former boss, Vince McMahon. So I got to be with Vince on the outside of the ring, and Bubba was with Shane McMahon because Shane McMahon was tagging with his father against the Dudley boys. I wanted Shane because I thought if I make a mistake and hit Shane, Shane can just hit me back. But if I make a mistake and hit Vince, yeah, that's not good. But I remember he would give these right hands, and Vince wasn't a wrestler, so to speak. Vince was someone that liked to be in the business, that wanted to do the business, but basically didn't really know how to throw a punch. I got in there with Vince. Vince told me, he goes, don't be like with me, just go in there and do what you got to do as if I was regular talent. I went, okay, but of course I didn't follow directions. So as I'm getting to him and grabbing him, he hauls off and nails me right in the jaw. And I just went, damn, well, I can't get him back. What am I gonna do? He hits me again. I went, good God, okay, let me just put him in a headlock and see if that works. Yeah, no, it didn't work. He's just swinging up for dear life. He's bang, bang, bang. I was like, damn it, Vince. I let him go. I said, Bubba, you take Vince, I'm done. We got rid of Shane, we set the table up, and now we're gonna put the boss through the table. So as I start to get Vince walking over towards Bubba, here comes Road Dogg, X-Pac, Tori. Road Dogg comes in, nails me from behind, which causes me to go into Vince, which now causes Bubba to lose balance, and guess what? Goes tumbling to the floor. Now I'm scared to death. I'm like, we just dropped the boss. What are we gonna do? I remember when it was all said and done, we get to Gorilla, it was just quiet. We're watching Vince come up the ramp, and you can tell he is not happy. And so I remember going to Vince and asking him, saying, hey, are you okay? We are so sorry. Me and Bubba both, we are so sorry. And he goes, I'm okay. I'm fine. But that's Vince being tough Vince, you know? But he was hurting because Shane pulled us aside and goes, yeah, Dad is really hurting. So, you know, you might want to keep asking him if he's okay. And we did that. And then we're in Chicago the next night. We go to Michael Hayes because Michael Hayes was usually our producer sometimes. And we go, Mike, what's going on? What are we doing? He goes, it's you guys and Edge and Christian. They'll beat you guys to start fighting up the ramp. And when that happens, here comes X-Pac and Road Dogg. And they're gonna push a dumpster out, put you in the dumpster, and then roll you off of the Titantron like Cactus and Terry Funk when they did it to them. And I went, who's going in there? Michael looked at me and said, the Dudleys. I go, why? He goes, because that's what Vince wants. I go, please tell Vince I wasn't the one that dropped him, it was Bubba. Why do I have to go in a garbage can and go over go to the bottom of the floor off the Titantron? Well, needless to say, I didn't realize how claustrophobic I was. And when you're breathing heavy and you're tired from doing the match, it's 10 times worse. And so they put me and Bubba in the dumpster. I think I'm okay. I think I'm good. We're laying in the dumpster, and all of a sudden I go, I can't do this. I can't do this. Bubba goes, what? I'm getting claustrophobic. I can't take it. I'm getting claustrophobic. D-Von, now is not the time to tell me that you're claustrophobic and we're supposed to bust out of it, start swinging, boom, boom, boom. Bubba goes, okay, you ready? We gotta pop up now, D-Von. I was like, 1, 2, 3. We both pushed the cans open. Bubba's swinging for dear life. I'm over the garbage can like this. I can't breathe. I'm like claustrophobic. They jump us again, close the lid, now they tie the lid. Next thing you know, Bubba's got me. I go, Bubba, I can't do this, I can't do this. He goes, D-Von, relax, damn it, relax. He's like, breathe, come on, buddy. It's just like being on a Ferris wheel in Coney Island, just breathe, buddy. Yep, they're pushing us, here we go. Whee! I want to laugh, but I'm scared at the same time because I'm freaking out. And Bubba makes fun of me all the time when he tells this story. So I figured I'd tell you guys before he does, because he'll put his own twist to it. Again, that was really a good time, and I just remember going, damn, that just shows me never dropped the boss. But every time I see Vince, I tell him, I go, damn, man. I just look at him, I go, he goes, what's wrong with you, D-Von? I go, my jaw. It never got better from the time when you punched me. Oh, stop, D-Von, ha, ha, ha. I go, no, Vince, I go, I'm still eating soup out of a straw. You know, I tease him all the time, he teases me. You know, we had that joking relationship at one point. And it was really something that I really enjoyed doing because I never thought I'd see myself in the ring with Vince McMahon, you know, working with him. And, you know, or any of the talent that I mentioned. I was just truly blessed and honored to be in the ring with each and every one of those guys. So again, if you guys are looking at this, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I really appreciate everything that you've done, all the help, and how a lot of you made me into who I am today. Thank you. Hey guys, this is D-Von Dudley here, of course. And I just want to give a quick shout out to someone who has helped me through my back surgery during my stroke and who has made it possible for me to walk right, to feel right, just to get my body correct. It's Miss Tina Piper, and she has her own business right here in Melbourne, Florida. And I would love for her to tell you what she's all about. Hello, Tina.
Hello, thank you for having me, D-Von. So I am all about the flexibility, mobility in the training aspect. It's always been something that's helped me, helped my family, and I wanted to bring that to other people. So we help you by, as you know, we do the assisted stretching. We bring that range of motion, that mobility back of the joints. The training in the recovery aspect, we do that stretching, we work with the weights, everything from there. Like you said, we are located in Melbourne. So our social media is on Facebook and Instagram. It's under Piper's Training and Recovery. We're working on adding videos where you can follow us at home, even if you can't make it. So we work with people in person. We also are reaching out to work with people online as well. So we're going to be all over pretty soon.
All right. Well, guys, I just want to say this. I had to give this special shout out, but I want you, if you were like me, couldn't walk, your mobility was shot, this young lady right here can help put you back together. If you live in the Orlando area, if you live in the Melbourne area, Palm Bay area, so forth and so on, give her a call. Tina Piper, and she gave you all the information, so please do it. And if you don't, I better believe that somebody's butt is going through a table. Oh, testify. All right, everybody, that concludes our video for today. So please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And also, please leave your comments down below. And if there's something that you want me to talk about, someone you want me to bring on the show, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to try to get that worked out for you. So again, without any further ado, oh my brother, testify.